The horror stories you grew up with might be hiding real life nightmares. They're worse than you think. Welcome back, horror fans. Today, we're diving deep into the chilling world of classic horror stories and uncovering the horrifying truths that inspire them. They've haunted our dreams for generations. Vampires lurking in the windows, werewolves howling under the full moon, and sinister dolls with a life of their own. But what if I told you these classic horror stories aren't just tales to scare children? What if the true origins behind these legends are far darker and disturbingly real? So grab your popcorn and the dim lights. Let's get started. First, let's take a look at some of the most iconic horror stories from the past. From Mary Shelley's Frankenstein to Bram Stoker's Dracula. These tales were born from the fears and societal issues of their time. For instance, Frankenstein's reflect the anxiety surrounding scientific advancement and the consequences of playing God. But what makes these stories still resonate today? It's the underlying themes of fear, isolation, and the unknown that continue to haunt us. Now, let's uncover the horrifying truths behind these stories. Did you know that Dracula was inspired by a real figures like Vlad the Impaler? The gruesome history adds a layer of terror that's hard to shake off. These truths not only enhance the horror, but also provide a commentary on human nature and societal fears. It's this blend of reality It's this blend of reality and fiction that keeps us on the edge of our seats. The story of Dracula didn't begin with Bram Stoker. Long before him, Eastern European villages whispered, Ishigoi, the undead who rose from their graves to prey on the living. But these tales may have stemmed from real-life horrors. In medieval times, poorly understood diseases like tuberculosis caused victims to waste away, coughing up blood, pale as death. Graves were even dug up when families believed the dead were feeding on them from beyond the grave. Imagine watching your loved ones waste away with no explanation, only to find blood smeared on a relative's corpse. When you open the coffin, would you still call it superstition? Long before Hollywood turned werewolves into action stars, they were used to explain unspeakable crimes. In 16th century France, serial killer Giles Garnier confessed to a being werewolf. But was he truly cursed? Or was lycanthropy just a convenient label for a murderer? Many so-called werewolves were simply victims of ergo poisoning, a hallucinogenic fungus that grew on rye bread. Those who consumed it experienced visions, paranoia, and violent urges. Could the legend of the werewolf be rooted not in curses, but in the terrifying effects of poison meal? Before Annabelle and Chucky, there was Robert the doll, a seemingly innocent gift that terrorized a Florida family in the early 90s. Witnesses claimed Robert moved on his own, changed expressions, and even giggled. Some say it was a child's imagination. Others believe the doll was cursed by a vengeful servant practicing voodoo. To this day, Robert sits locked in a glass case at the East Mortello Museum, still blamed for misfortunes by those who disrespect him. But what if the fear of haunted dolls isn't just a story, but a warning? So why these old legends still terrify us? Maybe it's because the fears they represent, death, the unknown, betrayal, and guilt, are universal and timeless. Horror isn't just about monsters, it's about our deepest anxieties dressed up as things that go bump in the night. And when we revisit these classic tales today, they evolve, turning timeless frights into contemporary chills. You've just scratched the surface of the horrifying truths behind classic horror. The next time you watch a horror film, remember, many of these stories are rooted in reality. Sometimes, reality is the scariest tale of all.